AM 1300, WRCR, Spring Valley.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back one more time again to the Gumbo YaYa radio show. Say how you was.
I was. How was you?
We got Yeti Mike in here. Roadkill Bill.
Wild Willie here, man.
Wild Willie. Man, listen, I seen you in the I seen you in action, man. Roadkill is that. He's walked behind with a shovel, picking up the sail cat.
Well, his professional name is Will I Am.
Wow.
No, his name is Will. I didn't.
Didn't yet. Come on.
So, yeah, you know, you got him out there.
Better than the Gator.
With the cell cat, right? You know what a cell cat is, right?
No, tell me.
Cell cat, you know that cat that was unfortunate crossing the road? Right?
I'm ahead of you.
So after a few days, man, after a few go-bys, in the summer sun, he's out there, like a Frisbee, and you sell him across the cornfield. That's a cell cat right there.
I've seen one or two of those in my last so many years.
So it's all good, man. It's all good going on down there. So what did you think about Miss Christy Baker? Not bad for a girl, right? I like it. And I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember how I stumbled across her, you know. But when I discover an artist and I think they have potential, I like to get that out to the public, you know.
You are talented and fine individual.
So, I think you actually wrote that down, but I can't seem to find that right here.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so this is my new artist, my new find. Hopefully, y'all enjoy that. Miss Christy Baker. Well, you know what? Actually, I think she called me out of the blue because the show was doing so well.
All right.
And so, Miss Christy Baker, we appreciate you checking in with that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to post her as a Gumbo YaYa future star. One of our recent finds, Miss Christy Baker. Hopefully, y'all enjoy that.
You keep in touch with Redneck there, Christy.
Yeah. So I gave the phone number, and here, go ahead.
Cheers.
I'm on the unicycle.
Yeah.
So, but Gator, man, I was worried he wasn't going to survive after the last episode. You know.
Was that the potato chip?
No, no. You remember? You know, he come up limp, he come up gimp again. So,
which time?
Yeah. Well, you know, who's that fellow that just recently retired over there? Here's
Neil McNamara.
Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Gator is a hard-working individual down there at the highway department.
Don't lie to everybody.
And now you stop. God don't like ugly, so behave. So you know, down there it's dangerous work they got to do. Y'all got to wear them steely-toe, real workman type boots, not those designer, high fashion.
Yeah, we don't call them Timbs.
Boots like that. So they got the steel toe case,
double A.
Because you could drop something heavy on there, or have like a machinery roller, and get hurt. Be limp and gimp, and stumbling around and everything, and it's not good for you. So they just had that fella down there retired, and down there behind the facility, they got this big circle driveway with a grassy area in the middle. With those circuit things. What are they called? It's called a sack, right?
That's a sack. Yeah.
The guy said it's called a sack. So
a cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac?
Yeah. That's
all right. Well, it's a sack. If it's cul-de-sac, I'm gonna call it a sack. All right. So they got the big sack back in the back,
right.
And they got that tree in the middle. With that for picnicking whenever they do. What is that? They have the kids clean up the litter. They do that whole what's that?
Beautification.
Clean up Rockland. Yeah. So the facility, the highway department has this little area behind there where they can have special occasions for when they do the picnic cleanup and stuff like that. And the kids will come to paint garbage cans, and there's a little shade tree in the middle. And they got a little outlet down there, so if they want to plug in, have a DJ or lights or something. And every once in a while they'll use that for a special event like a retirement ceremony or some kind of award ceremony. So this fella Neil had retired, right?
Right.
So they had old Huckleberry Flynn and Gator was supposed to cut that grass and get that ready for the picnic, and they were going to do it like a covered dinner. Everybody's going to bring in a dish, and at the end of the day, they was going to do a little something special for Neil for being retired out the pasture, so to speak. So And all they want to do is put some of them white Christmas lights on the tree, so they have a little light there, something special, and then cut the grass, and people would picnic. And the thing is they had the Gator and Huckleberry Flynn to do it. And the problem is they only gave them all day to do it, and they knew that day was going to get interrupted between lunch breaks and the union allotted coffee breaks.
That's right.
You know, so Gator figured, man, he said between the two of them, they got 2 20-minute lunch breaks and two 1-hour lunch breaks and 2 20-minute coffee breaks. He figured that was 2 hours and 80 minutes they'd have to give up in their work day. So and Gator had just hurt his shoulder, so he wasn't doing any heavy lifting.
No.
So Huckleberry Flynn figured he'd take over in the thinking department, and he come up with a plan to save them all that time, work right through their lunch break, and they had highway department has these lawnmowers with the big squeezy handles. When you squeeze down on the handle levers, it makes it go. And you can walk behind it and cut the grass.
That's known as a squeezy lever?
Yeah, that's. I don't want to get too technical with you.
Oh, all right.
Squeezy lever.
Now I know. Thank you.
But people down there, you know, when you're cutting the highway, if you got to hold that handle down, like all the way down the highway, it gets tired. So they figured out you could just take the broom handle off one of them push brooms, wedge it in there, and now to hold the handles down, the levers, and you just walk behind it to cut the grass. When you get to the end, you pop that out. So you know, Huckleberry Flynn, man, old Flynn, you know, being the thinker that he is. He come up with a plan. He figured he would tie an extension cord to one end of the tree, and then he would tie it one end to the tree and the other end to that lawnmower at those little retaining hooks, you know, that y'all use to tie it down when you transport it so it won't fall off the truck. Mm-hmm. And he figured what he'd do is he'd wedge that handle in there, and he'd hang the Christmas lights on that handle, that broom handle, like a spool, and put the other end at the top of the tree. So as that lawnmower went around, the extension cord would wrap up shorter and bring it in close to the tree, and it would cut the grass for him.
That's a great idea.
And as it was going around with the Christmas lights at the top of that tree, they would unspool like Granny's knitting yarn and decorate that tree.
Kind of like a maypole.
Exactly. So he figured that out. I mean, he's seen every episode of MacGyver and Gilligan's Island at least twice. So old Flynn, man, old Huckleberry, he's like a bona fide, he's a redneck engineer, based on them qualifications. So he figured that set that lawnmower up, have it go around.
Good job, Huckleberry.
So he did that, man. He got all set up, and he told Gator, hit the switch and put it out there, hit the switch, and he'd stand at the tree and see if it's working. So they did that. That thing took off and went around the tree, made a couple passes. Pretty as a picture, man. Here's that extension cord was getting shorter and shorter, and that lawnmower kept getting close to the tree. As it was going around, them lights kept spooling off, wrapping around that tree. It looked like something from a Dr. Seuss movie, just wrapping around there. Like the Grinch Stole Christmas. Mm-hmm. So they figured, hey, man, that's working. That what they would do is they weren't going to strain their eyes in that sunset. They would close them for a few moments.
I hear you.
And so you hear Flynn hollering, Gator, Gator. So Gator figured everything was good to go. He flipped the switch on. Nothing happened. No lights, no nothing. He went out there to see and realized that his eyes had been closed more than a few minutes. That mower had run all the way up in there to the tree. It tipped over, and the gas and oil was dumping out. And there's old Flynn. He'd dozed off against that tree, and them Christmas lights had tied him to it like some kids playing in. They only had a few minutes left because everybody was coming back from the end of the day for their picnic. So he's over there. It's like trying to get Granny out of a girdle, man. You should have seen old Gator trying to get Flynn untied. Well, they finally got him untied. Everything was good to go. And so, those machines are heavy. That can roll across your foot, and that can hurt your foot.
Yes, yeah.
And
is that what happened to the Gator?
No, that's not what happened.
No.
So what happened was, just as they get him freed, the people are coming. Gator's wrapping up the lights. Now, half a dozen of them are popped. So he's stringing up the leftover lights to get them out of the way. He wants to make sure everything's cleaned up. And Flynn looks down and realizes the reason them lights didn't come on because it wasn't plugged in. So
that's Christmas vacation.
Being
Huckleberry.
he plugged it in. Man, I tell you what, you would think that a bat got caught in the bug zapper, man. Gator had hair for about 6 seconds. The sparks were flying from the tip of his shoes. One of them hit Flynn right in the leg, man. He went down like he was being tased on an episode of Cops. The other one hit that gasoline at the bottom of the tree.
You got to bring the film.
You got a mushroom cloud, man. He had a mushroom cloud. Went right up into the branches. You know? And luckily, man, for Gator's sake, he wasn't hurt. That shock was just enough to knock him right out of them steel-toe boots. So he was fine. You know? And so this is how we're getting to how he got gimped, you know, how he came up limping.
I was wondering about
So needless to say, folks showed up just in the nick of time. They were so excited to see this bonfire that they had organized for him. They thought it was the best damn thing, man, that Flynn got a commendation. And old Gator, man, bless his soul, he got paid time off and workers' comp. Because he was so mad, being a good Christian, he wasn't going to cuss. But he was mad as hell at a Huckleberry for the shock that he got. And he hauled off and kicked the ground. Forgot he didn't have on his steel-toe shoes.
No.
Stoved up his big toe. Looked like a watermelon. You know, you took a picture of his toe and his head. They looked like twins. So, but yeah, workers' comp. And the commendation came from NASA.
Really?
Yes, sir. Sure did.
They saw it all the way from space?
Well, yeah. What happened was somebody observed it. See, that mower worked out the first pass or two. But as it got further in, it started looking like crop circles. And with that flame in the middle, they thought that a spacecraft had landed.
An UFO.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a big deal. But thank God that old Gator's fine. He's limping a little bit. You know, he stove up his big toe, but he'll be all right. So
by nature, Gators are tough.
Get well, Gator.
Exactly.
Hope
exactly.
you feel better soon.
Yeah, so we just wanted to do that. So
take care of that toe.
Want to make sure. Say, hey, come on in here, brother, man. How you doing? What are you eating? Listen, damn it, y'all are eating all the food over here. I'm doing a radio show, and that's my. Hang on a second.